How's the world where you are? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. Got a lot of chats waiting on me already. Ole, ole, ole. Is this thing on? Tap, 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 tap. That's right. Apparently, since I'm using a phone and everything is condensed on my laptop, I didn't see the place where it says schedule, and apparently that automatically scheduled it for 8:05, but my schedule hasn't changed. 8:30, Monday through Friday, and Sunday at 8. But it snuck up on me. I guess I'm gonna have to find that setting now because I have no idea where it's at. Only thing it gives me an option to do is title it and make it private or public. So there might be an app out there or something I can use. I just hadn't found it. I don't know a whole lot about phone. Why not to use one if at all possible? Where is everyone? You were here a minute ago. Where'd you go? Do you think I wasn't coming? Does my shirt look backwards to you? That's weird. I guess my OBS flips the image and the phone does not. Or it could be because I'm using the front-facing phone instead of the back-facing phone of the camera. Maybe. I don't know. I told you, I don't know anything about phones. I'm old school. My phone had a cord attached to the wall when I was growing up. And it was 4 miles long. You could walk to the end of the driveway before you ran out of cord. Yeah, I'm here. Same bat time, same bat channel. How you doing, Caucasian? Good to see you. April's here. Yay. We're all here, except for those who are not. And shame on you if you're not here, which you won't hear because you're not here. So, how are you doing? I had a very good weekend. A show I've been waiting on for 4 years came out today, or yesterday, actually. Star Trek Strange New Worlds. And guess what? Well, first I have to preface this. We have gone through 3 new Star Trek movies and 5 new Star Trek television shows, all of which are utter garbage, woke, nonsensical, non-scientific, dramatic, fantasy-laden garbage written by 3-year-olds, people who swallow crayons. And thus, Star Trek Strange New Worlds comes out, and it's good. It's episodic. It's tight. It's well written. The science makes sense. It's well acted. Every character gets, the first episode his name. Whereas Star Trek Discovery, 2 seasons in, you're still not sure who's on the bridge because they're just cameras everywhere. Guess who it's written by? It's written by, it's directed by, it was conceived by the exact same people that did all the other shows, thus proving that they absolutely can make good Star Trek if they want to. The problem is they don't want to. They want to make garbage. They are trying to destroy the franchise. This is the studio saying, you better make something good before we lose all our money because the fans aren't having it. That's what this is. This is a consolation prize, but it's good. And I'm excited to see the rest of it. So, hey, there's good news out there. Hollywood can learn. Hey, Laura, how you doing? Good to see you. Welcome to the show. You just got the notification? Well, that's amazing because I just came online. Perfect timing. Star Trek is better than Star Wars any day. Yeah, I'm on Team Star Trek too. But there is a place for Star Wars, and it is fantasy. And that is what it's intended to be, and it's good. Star Trek, on the other hand, is cerebral. It is not fantasy. It's science fiction. There's a difference. And they don't seem to know the difference in Hollywood anymore. So I'm rather pleased by the offering of late, the new Strange New Worlds. It's very reminiscent. It's nostalgic of the old days. It feels good. It feels like you're watching a Star Trek show. Firefly is a good show, and it could have been the next Star Trek, but they mishandled it because they didn't know what they had their hands on. Had they handled it properly, Firefly would be the next big thing, and there'd be conventions for Firefly right now, rather than people dressing up as brown coats going to Star Trek conventions. Is what it is. Yep, I guess you're right. I'm okay. Good to see you too, says Laura. But I'm glad you're here. The world just ain't the same without you. And we're going to have a good time no matter what. Anyway, I just wanted to start the show off by bragging a little on the studios because they can learn. As I said, the executive producers, the writers, the directors, all the same people, same group of people that made the garbage made this show. And it's like night and day. If you watch both, you wouldn't believe the same people made it. I mean, it's light, it has humor, it's quick, it's funny, it's well crafted. Nothing seems out of place. There's no fat on the bone. And compare that to Star Trek Discovery, which is 90 minutes of watching somebody cry and talk about their feelings and beating you over the head with political stuff. Granted, Star Trek always has been progressive in its nature, and it's always dealt with. Difference is they don't beat you over the head with it. They present a problem or a question, and then they trust the audience to make the answer. They leave it in your hands. They leave you to think about it, and that is good storytelling. Trying to force feed you with a political opinion is not, because only half of the audience is going to buy into that, and the other half is going to think it's utter garbage. Guess which one most Star Trek fans are? So, needless to say, it can be done. So all hope is not lost. There is room for good stuff to be made. I thought for a little while that it was all over, that there'd be no good storytelling anymore, that it was done. That's not so. They can tell good stories, they just don't want to. So I would encourage you all to vote with your wallet. If it ain't good, don't go see it. Don't give them a penny. Make them see with the money. Reward them when they write good stuff, good quality movies, and don't go see the garbage. Don't even acknowledge its existence. And before too long, this stuff will stop happening, because there's only so far they're going to be willing to go without making any money. And I promise you, they will change, because they don't have a soul or a backbone to stand up with. They will go where the money goes. So that's my epic Hollywood rant for today. What do you guys want to talk about? You have a confession? Confess. I'll hear your confession. I'm not guaranteeing you an absolution, but I'll listen. I can't absolve your sins, but I can hear them and make you feel better anyway. So confess away. Your wife is a Disney absolutist. Yeah, well, that's a hard habit to break. There's a lot of people that were big Disney fans from a long ways back. It's just recently that Disney started outwardly and publicly doing things that actively hurt their fans. That's a recent development. They used to at least try to keep it secret. But I suppose there's nothing wrong with liking Disney. They put out some good stuff in the past. So I've been told. I don't watch a whole lot of Disney stuff. So I have Disney Plus. You bastard. How dare you? I have Amazon Prime and I don't even watch it. I just pay for it, which is retarded. Why I haven't canceled it? Because I'm too lazy to figure out how to cancel it. I don't even know how I got it. I think I ordered something off of Amazon one time and just subscribed. I'm not real sure. But I still love the older stuff and some new. I haven't seen anything new that was any good. New season of The Wilds. Yeah, isn't that show you were telling me to look at, the woke one? It's gloriously terrible. Yes. I believe I've downloaded it. I just haven't got to it yet. I still haven't got to the Wheel of Time yet. But I haven't. But Star Trek Strange New Worlds is a must see. I would reward that behavior if you're a fan. It is most definitely worth it. I've seen it twice now, and I plan to watch it a third time before the night's out. And that's only because there's not a second episode for me to jump right into. I have to wait till Thursday, which is smart, by the way. I don't really understand why streaming services will dump an entire series at one night, 10 episodes in one night. That leaves you nothing to look forward to. That leaves you nothing to talk about or to get excited about. There's Reacher. Reacher was a good show. It's a relic. I don't know how that managed to get made, but it slipped under the radar somehow and got made. It's very good and not at all woke. No message in it at all. Just good old-fashioned action, storytelling, drama, mystery, whole 9 yards is all there. So if you guys want to watch a real good episode or a real good series, watch Reacher. It's worth it. Very good. It's like Sherlock Holmes meets Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's pretty good. Also, another good show, if you're into science fiction, is The Foundation on Apple TV. That's a good one. If you get a chance to watch that, watch it. It's not like the book. It's different than the book, but it's every bit as good. That's Isaac Asimov's The Foundation. Apple TV, I believe, puts it out. It's one of those newer ones. Might be Peacock, but I think it's Apple. Anyway, good series. But I'm very excited to see what comes next for Strange New Worlds. I can't wait to see. And it's been a long time since I've been excited about a TV show because they just aren't very good anymore. Have y'all seen The Revenant yet? Yes. I heard someone gets mauled by a bear. Yeah, it's pretty rough. It's one of the most gruesome bear maulings ever filmed. The Outer Range, is that a good show? I've seen it, but I hadn't seen it. I've seen it advertised. I don't know what it's about though, so I hadn't looked into it. Lovecraft, that's the guy that wrote about Cthulhu and all that, right? Kind of a Southern Gothic Elseworlds kind of thing with tentacle gods and that sort of stuff. Yeah, I figured. I just have Roku and I don't hardly use it. I don't hardly ever watch it because I usually watch my TV. I download the shows I want to see and that's it. Or watch YouTube. You get lots of stuff on YouTube. Smacks of Stranger Things. Okay. So in other words, it's something I really wouldn't be interested in. I'm not into teenagery type shows. I like a good mystery, though. I like a good detective story. I like, oddly enough, doctor shows, if they're well done and edgy. I don't like procedural doctor shows like Grey's Anatomy. I'm a big House fan. I used to love that show. Matter of fact, I recently just rewatched the entire series. It's very good, very entertaining. Can't believe some of the stuff they got away with on that show compared to today's world. No, it's an adult show, but it's a slow burn. Okay. Well, I'll watch the first episode. If it grabs me, then I'll watch the rest of it. If it don't, it'll go by the way of the dodo bird. Let's see, what else could I recommend? Something you may or may not have seen. Resident Alien. That's a good comedy. Starring one of the Firefly alum, Alan Tudyk, I believe is his name. And guest starring Nathan Fillion as an octopus. Resident Alien. Get a chance to watch that. It's pretty funny. It's a little silly, but it's a little funny too. Have you seen that one? And if you like good westerns and you want to reach back a little ways, you can always watch Justified. That's a good show. Kind of westerny. It's like a northern western. Takes place in Kentucky, which, contrary to popular belief, is not in the South. That Kentucky is as southern as Michigan is. I'm wearing my Thanks a Lot Joe t-shirt. You can't see it because it's backwards, but there it is. Always a lovely brand of affirmation. Kevin A. Kevin A. what? Kevin B., your turn. We'll be on shortly. Cool. Excellent. Excellent. We're popping between 3 and 4 right now. Somebody's there. Love it. The shirt. Yeah, I love it too. It's one of my favorite shirts. Whoa, now Tug Creek is between West Virginia and Kentucky. Okay. Hence the word West Virginia, which is below Kentucky. Or to the side of it. They're in the northernmost western part of Kentucky. Northernmost western part of eastern Kentucky. That's it. And they think they're southern. I'm from Georgia. The only thing you can get further south than Georgia is South Michigan. I mean, Florida. I'm so stoked to go see Dr. Strange. MVTV. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Glad you could drop by. How's the recovery going? I'm doing well, actually. Got a little pain in the tips of my 2 middle fingers, and it's kind of sensitive to the touch right here on the tendons on the top. But other than that, I've got pretty much full range of motion, and I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. My parts for my motorcycle came in today, so between today and tomorrow, I got a show tomorrow night, but maybe I'll get it finished tomorrow, and I'll be riding again. Can't keep a good man down. That's what they say anyway. I just got kicked out. Are you still with me? Hello, are you still here? I don't know what just happened. The phone just blipped. Say yay if you're still here. Or say something. Good. Good. All right. Sorry about that. I guess we got a thunderstorm rolling in, so I might get kicked off tonight. If I happen to disappear, it's not my fault. So I apologize in advance. When you were late, I assumed you were dead and started dividing your worldly possessions. There's only one problem with that. I wasn't late. My phone said I'd be here at 8:05, but I made no such assertion. My schedule's always been Monday through Friday at 8:30 and Sunday at 8. And I hit the button at 8:30. So, hey, George Ward, good to see you, buddy. But divide ahead. Get that worldly possessions out there. If you could do more with it than I did, you're doing something. Does that mean I have to give back the paleontologist, Barbie? I'm a paleontologist. That's a good one. Good one. How's everybody doing? Y'all smash the like, pretty please. Much love, says April. Thank you, dear. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you hadn't done so already, and hit the bell icon while you're at it, just for good measure. You'll get notifications sometimes, probably. And they might say I'm going to be on at 8:05, and I have no control over that because I'm using a phone right now, and it didn't give me the option, or at least I didn't see the option. It might have gave it to me passive aggressively. I don't know. You think you will know what time you're going to be on, but you really don't. Yes, my phone's an asshole. George, do hit that like button. Run it on up. I'll shave my mustache off if we get to 1,000 likes. I'll have time to grow one, you know. Kill me sometimes. Hilarious. Anyway, I got a show to do tomorrow, and I believe I'm in Jacksonville tomorrow. Can't remember. I'll find out when I get there. YouTube, I know there's more than 3 here. Well, there is sometimes. It looks like sometimes there's 5, and sometimes there's 2 and 0 and 3. Who knows? But people watch the show not live also. So I get quite a few views that don't ever show up when I'm on live for some reason. Does it say 0? It's probably because I got kicked off and back on. Mine says 3. But I'm talking to 3 people, so who knows? Says 3 on my end, says April. Doesn't matter. Long as we're talking, that's all that matters. Kevin, where are you? Laura says, I know I'm here. I know I'm here too. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm pretty sure I'm real. Somebody asked me one time if I was schizophrenic. And I said, well, I hear voices, but they all speak Spanish, and I have no idea what they're saying. The professionals deliver the same for 1 or 100. I hear you. I don't know what you mean, but I like it. Aunt Laura, what's your granddaughter's name? Says April. LOL short. What you talking about? How dare you say something about my height? I'm big in my heart, damn it. Dynamite comes in small packages. It is a lovely day despite the rain. Do shorts, it'll help your channel. That's what they say, but I don't have anything that's short. I don't have any content. I don't know what to do. I can't even think in small sentences. Leave on and eye roll. I have two. I think that's how you pronounce both of those. I don't know, and I just don't know. You have to do it with a phone, right? Yes, that's what I heard. And since I'm using a phone now, I could do that, only I don't know what to do. I don't know what you guys would be interested in. And a grandson named Loki. You know you're pressing my nostalgic buttons, right? You know that I hear those names and I start thinking about ancient things. That's going to drive me down a rabbit hole. Just so you know. So sweet, I'd love to meet them one day. Well, get in your car and drive north until you run into a tree. And we'll be there. Well, shorts only require a phone. Use the selfie cam and read definitions or something. Yeah, I've considered doing definitions. I might do that. I have been thinking about that. I kind of got sidetracked by a motorcycle crash, but I have been thinking about that. There's a girl trying to steal my heart and I'm tempted. Even though she could tear me apart, I'm tempted. Tempted and trying deep down inside. I can't deny that I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I'm tempted. There you go. There's a little music for you. I'm still holding on to my flip phone. Well, check it out. Thanks. 54 seconds vertical and upload from your phone. What are you going to check out, MVTV? Great song. Did I miss something? Oh boy, he can shake it. Oh, you talking about Marty Stewart? Yeah, he can. World's first openly gay country music singer, and nobody ever noticed. Oh, you'll check out the ideas of a short. I got you. I don't know if you can do it with a flip phone or not. I can barely do it, and I've got a smartphone. I don't know how to use the damn thing, so I'm working on it, though. I'm going to get my furs coiffed. That'll be enough of that language, mister. We don't talk about those kind of things in front of ladies. What are you talking about? What is that? What is a coiffing fur? Or is that word supposed to be coiffed? Trying to figure it out. He is not gay. You are not naive. Maybe there's an app for my backup soup cans and strings. I hear you, buddy. I think I can anyway. I'm pretty sure that sounds like you. Pull it tighter. Shut up, Jake. Your wife is taking you to a salon. Okay, so you're going to get all dolled up. I got you. Yeah, Freddie Mercury was straight too. Anybody, any man that wears a little bandana tied around his neck is lighting the loafers. I'm sorry to tell you that. Little lighting the loafers. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's just an obvious truth. At least I think it is. My guitars hadn't been played in so long, it's out of tune. He married his dream girl. What was his name? Skunk Ape, my brother, had a flawless Freddie Mercury mustache. What you guys want to hear? Y'all want to hear a song? If I was a woman, I'd be gay. Wait a minute. All right. I tell you what, Caucasian, you have pestered me enough. I will learn Teddy Bear Picnic just for you. And I will do it at least once. Okay? Flight of the Bumblebee. That's the shortest song in history right there. It's called the Fly Turd Drop. Let me see. Been so long, I don't even know how to sing a song anymore. I wish a Coke was still cola. It was back when the country was strong. Back before the Beatles, the Vietnam War came along. Before Elvis and yesterday, when a man would still work because he could. The best of the free life behind me now, but are the good times really over for good? Wish a Ford and a Chevy still last 10 years like a Dodge. The best of the free life behind us now, are the good times really over for good? I've been rolling downhill like a snowball, headed for hell. Stand up, call for the flag or the Liberty Bell. I wish a Ford and a Chevy still last 10 years like a Dodge. The best of the now? Are the good times really over for good? There you go. A little Merle Haggard just for you guys. What do you think? Pardon the cracking voice, but that's better than I've been able to do for a long time. So, getting better, I think. At least I am at the moment. Hey, Kev, what's up, buddy? Kevin Cox in the house. I miss being able to sing. Thank you, COVID. I am here, Jake. It's Bourbon Friday. You go, Kev. Oh, brother. Day after day, I'm so confused. Spending my life in broken rain. Realizing I don't know the song. Ain't it a shame? Killing my brain. Oh, give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in it, rock and roll and get away. That's a good song, ain't it? Oh, my heart beats strong. Oh, you know the rhythm moves me. Ain't in the strain, feeling strange. People's freed my soul. I wanna get lost in you, rock and roll and drift away. I like that song. I wish I could sing it. Anyway, that's a little entertainment for you guys. Get your lips wet anyway. One day I'll be able to sing a whole concert for you, but it won't be today. Still on the mend as far as the vocals go. I play my ass off though, but I can't sing anymore. Kind of sucks because I was pretty good at it. Now I'm the man who has to stand on the sidelines, watch somebody else be the man. I just play harder, be more upfront with my lead guitar playing. Whereas before I did it just as kind of showing off, every now and then. I had a lead guitar player that did all the hard stuff, and I would just show off every now and then. Now I'm the lead guitar player, so I kind of moved laterally to stay in business. You do what you got to do, right? Not drinking. Why aren't you drinking? Just take it easy and heal. It's not a healing issue. When I got COVID, it did something to my vocal cords, like scarred them or something. So I don't know if I can heal from it. I do have good days. There are days when I have more control over my voice than other days where it just completely goes away and I can't even talk without cracking. But I honestly don't know if it will get better. I may not ever be able to sing again in a professional way. Just have to squawk and caterwaul to you guys on YouTube. But that's all right. Y'all will put up with it, won't you? Make me feel like I'm doing something. My hair is all over the place. Lifeless devil coming out. So what say you? What do you want to talk about? Give me a topic to run with. MVTV, what have you been up to lately? No need for what, Caucasian? Oh, no need for drinking? Oh, you got something else going on. I won't tell anybody if you don't. Keep a low profile. Well, that's one way to stay out of trouble, ain't it, buddy? I hear that train coming, rolling around the bend. I ain't seen the sunshine. I don't know when, but I'm stuck in falls of prison. Time keeps dragging by. Well, I hear that lonesome whistle. I hang my head and cry. I was just a baby. Mama told me, son, always be a good boy. Don't ever shoot your gun. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. I hear that whistle moaning. I hang my head and cry. Well, if I was just a rich man, I'd would change my mind. I'd probably take it on a little farther down the line, far away from falls of prison. It's where I want to stay. And I hear that lonesome whistle, it blows my blues away. Little Johnny Cash, the way I know you like it. Rock and roll. What do you think, MBTV? You like my music? Good guitar tactics. Tactics? It's different. Be doing it. I'm doing something. I try to do all kind of things, man. I got a long jukebox that reaches way back. I can play stuff from the 30s all the way up to modern stuff. And I prefer the stuff from the 70s. So in my mind, they just wrote better music back then. For whatever reason. They just seem to have more life. I don't know. Just something about the way they wrote back then made more sense. Know what I mean? One of my favorite songwriters is a guy that can't sing at all. His name is David Allan Coe. And I love the way he puts a phrase together. But he's not a very good singer. I suppose in retrospect, neither am I anymore. But he really can't sing. But he writes beautifully. some of the best lyrics, and you just can't get enough of that kind of stuff. They just don't write like that anymore. Now, if you go to Nashville, they got houses set up on a certain street, and these houses are parched out to make little offices in every room. Rather than being a house, it's an office building. And in each room, there's a couch, a coffee table, and a piece of paper hanging on the wall. And that piece of paper has a list. It's got 100 words on it. Words like pickup truck, farm, beer, football, things like that. And every song written out of those houses have to contain songs that are words that are on that list. So it's like a cookie cutter, like a mill, a song mill. They just pump them out, just using the same phrases and same words over and over and over again. I notice if any movie needs a super cool audio background, they usually use vintage 70 tunes. Just because it's good stuff. That's why. It invokes feelings more so than anything else does, for whatever reason. You can listen to a modern song, something from today, I can't think of one. Let me go 4 or 5 years back. Let's see. I can't think of a modern song. Oh, here you go. And I'm chilling on a dirt road, laid back, swerving like I'm George Jones. Smoke rolling out the window, and ice cold beer sitting in the console. Memory laid up in the headlights, got me reminiscing on a good time. Turning over real loud driving, that's right, I'm hitting Easy Street on mud tires. Now that's a modern song that prefaces George Jones in the first line. There might be a reason George Jones is on everybody's mind, because when he says, he said, I love you till I die. She told him, you forget in time. And as the years go slowly by, she still preyed upon his mind. You don't hear anything like that today. Kept love letters by the bed, dated 1962. He had underlined in red every single I love you. She came to see him just today. Oh, but I didn't see no tears. All dressed up to go away. First time I've seen him smile in years. See, he's dead. That's a song that reaches right in and touches you in the soft places. They can't do it anymore. I don't know why it is. I don't know if it's life lessons or things were harder back then, or people were more educated or had a stronger connection with literature. I don't know what the problem is. I just know, just like with writing TV shows, they just can't produce good stuff anymore. Good, solid things with gravitas. You go back to the 70s, and that's where you find all that stuff. And personality, you look at George Jones, the possum. You watch any documentary about that guy, or watch any behind the scenes videos of the man, being himself. And there is not one person in the whole of Nashville that could compare, even light a candle beside George Jones. He was a bigger than life personality. The man got in a fight with an imaginary duck and almost wrecked his tour bus because of it. That's who we're talking about. You get somebody like Johnny Paycheck, shot his own bus driver in the back of the shoulder because he got mad at him while they were moving. He was trying to hit him in the head, missed. And he wrote stuff like, I'm telling you, friend, don't take her, she's all I've got. She's everything in life I'm ever gonna need. Take this job and shove it, I ain't working here no more. Woman done left, took all the reasons I was working for. One of these days I'm gonna blow my top, and that sucker, she gonna pay. Take this job and shove it, I ain't working here today. Yeah, that kind of stuff. You just can't find that anymore. You listen to the garbage they got on country radio today that they call country music, ain't no country in it. Couldn't hit country with a baseball bat. Hey, pretty boy, would you baseball cap? You couldn't hit country with a baseball bat. Walking around in your pretty little boots that you bought on Rodeo Avenue with your new suit. Can't do it. Where'd you go? Y'all leave me? I was just listening to... Oh, I missed some stuff. Sorry. Because they're the best. That's right. Love that line. George is one of my heroes. We're talking about classic rock, I thought. No, we're talking about just music. It doesn't matter what kind. Oh, I was just listening to his channel before I got with you. Cool. Good stuff. You didn't know that. Wow. Didn't know what? Those stories would make great shorts. That's an idea. Might do a music series. How about the Dukes of Hazzard guy? He got a voice on him. That would be Waylon Jennings. And Waylon Jennings is one of my favorites. And he wrote stuff like, just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. They all they ever saw been in trouble with the law since the day they were born. Yeah, that is Waylon too. Straighten the curve, lightning the head. One day the law might get them, but the mountain never will. Making a way, where they know how. That's just a little bit more than the law will allow. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about John Schneider, and yes, he's a singer too, and actually has a pretty good songs out there. They're not real good. They're kind of cookie cutter, but they are. He got a couple of really decent ones. But he got his inspiration from Waylon. Oh, Waylon. I love that man. Let's see. I've been down in Mississippi, up where the green grass grows. I've been out in Cincinnati, waiting on that Ohio River flows. Cause I'm a rambling man, don't mess around with any old rambling man. Can't sing that high. Anyway, Waylon did some good stuff. Then you got the likes of Hank Williams Jr. Wrote some of the most prolific country songs of the 70s and 80s. Some of the best stuff, hands down to this day. Can't beat it. Country Boy Can't Survive. Heaven Ain't a Lot Like Dixie. You know, on and on and on and on. Waylon doing Climb a Mountain was my favorite. Really? He probably wrote that song about Hank Williams Jr., who did climb a mountain and then fell 500 feet down to his demise nearly, hit his face first on a rock, and his brain fell out onto the ground. And he survived for 6 hours until they could helicopter up there and get him. He was up on the top of a mountain. And don't know how that man lived through that, but he did. I love Cajun Baby. Yeah. I like Hank and his daddy, Hank Williams. He did some good stuff too. It was tragic. Yeah, it was. But he survived. Unlike his father, who died in the back of a Cadillac going down a highway to the next show. He slipped into a coma and passed away due to copious amounts of opioids and alcohol, which he thought he was doing right because it was prescribed by a doctor. But this was the first evidence of a mill doctor, that prescribes way too much medication he didn't know. So, and he did have a bad back. He had the same thing wrong with him that I got wrong with me, scoliosis. And he was in a lot of pain. So he medicated, went to a doctor, and a doctor gave it to him. So he took it. Didn't know it was going to kill him, but it did. He might be the first guy that died that way in the music scene. Oh, Lord, I done got Kevin singing now. Ha! We got 6 people watching. Is that something? Hello, people that aren't talking. Good to see you. If you have a request, just jot it down on the back of a $20 bill. I'll be glad to play it. No, I'm just kidding. Holler it out. I'll play it if I know it. Probably won't sound very good, but we'll get there. Side note, but Narcan is magic for opioid ODs. Yes, it is. Now available over the counter for everyone to carry. Really? I did not know that. Smart idea, though. Especially if you're a high-functioning opioid addict. No, sir, I did not. Let's see. And then you get up into the 80s and you meet a guy named Garth Brooks, who turned country music on its head. One of the weirdest sounding vocals ever heard on the radio. I remember thinking, that don't sound anything like Alabama. I'm not going to like this guy at all. Turns out I'm one of his biggest fans. April says, hit that like button, please, everyone. We appreciate it and love you all. True. Thank you, sweetheart. Appreciate that. Do hit that like button. Drive it on up. If we get to 1,000 likes, I'll shave off my mustache. I'll have time to grow one between now and then. And Garth Brooks would come out with songs like, you know, a dream is like a river, ever changing as it flows, and a dream is just a vessel that must follow where it goes, trying to learn what's behind you, never knowing what's in store, makes each day a constant battle just to stay between the shores. Or this old highway's getting longer, seems there ain't no end in sight. Sleep would be best, but I just can't hold the rest. Gotta ride to Denver tomorrow night. Call the house, no one answers. For the last 2 weeks, no one's been home. Guess she's through with me. Tell the truth, I just can't see what's kept the one that's holding on this long. And the white line's getting long, and the saddle's getting cold. I'm much too young to be here to stand low. All the cards are on the table, no legs left and no hope. I'm much too young to be here to stand low. Lord, I'm much too young to be But in between Waylon Jennings and Garth Brooks, you have the likes of Kenny Rogers. You have the likes of Johnny Paycheck, Loretta Lynn, all these, Reba McEntire, George Strait, who has had every song he has ever released be a #1 hit, I believe. He is the most prolific #1 hitter there is, George Strait. Never wrote a song of his own, but he sure knows how to pick them. Damn straight. And the ever effervescent Elvis Presley in the 70s, top of his game. Music you just cannot ever hear again, with personality that you'll never see again. Now all the country stars look the same and sound the same and act the same. Not an original one in the bunch. You didn't know George didn't write his own songs? Well, all you got to do is read the sleeve of the CD that you're listening to. No, he buys his songs and then he releases them. If he has ever written one, I don't know about it. I'm sure it's possible, but most of his songs are, gotten from demos. And he picked some pretty good songs. Amarillo by Morning, I can't think of any more. Check Yes or No. The Fireman, great songs. Unwound. Some of the best country music ever made was made between 75 and 90. Right in that little area. That was like the golden age for country music. Baby Blue. There's a new song called Damn Straight that talks about a few of his songs. I can't think of the ones it's talking about now. Something about a girl and the chair. Yeah. Well, excuse me, but I think you've got my chair. Yeah, that's a good song. You're waiting to be a new Elvis movie. I'm excited. You're waiting to see the new Elvis movie. Yeah, I am too. I don't know when it's coming out though, but it's going to be out in the next couple years. Stars Tom Hanks as Colonel Parker, which is odd. It's an odd pairing there. But it might turn out to be a great show. Give it away. Yeah. Pure Country was a good movie. Total one-off. But it was a good movie. Coming out this year. Okay, I didn't realize that. I thought they were still making it. I done worked up a sweat in here playing for you guys. It's all muggy in here. Turn my air conditioner off because my phone doesn't filter it out like my OBS does. And it raining outside, so it's good and muggy in here. Or the 16th. I got to look it up. It's on a YouTube trailer. Yeah, I believe you're right. It's pretty close. I didn't realize it was this year, though. I thought it was coming out maybe next year. But movies do come out in June, so it's probably this year in June. Austin Butler plays Elvis. Yep. And visually, it's a good choice. Vocally, it's a good choice. I don't know about visually. In my opinion, he doesn't capture the look, but he sounds just like him. But then again, visually, nobody has ever captured the look. Everybody that's ever played Elvis fell short. The one that came the closest was Kurt Russell. And he felt a little bit cardboard. He didn't quite get it. Anybody else I've ever seen play Elvis, though, didn't do it very well. I guess that's a hard fella to copy. He definitely had his own thing going. And that, as beautiful as it is so rare. You may never see it again, anything like it. Elvis was a shining light, almost like an angel on earth, or at least it appeared that way, but really it was just the amount of charisma that he had. He was a plus 20 in charisma, if you know what I'm saying, Caucasian. I've got 16% humidity, insanely dry. Really? It's so thick in here, I could just about cut it with a butter knife. I'm in North Carolina, though. You're a little further out west, right? There's only one Elvis. That is correct. Only one. I wish I had as much as he had in his little pinky finger. I'd like to have that much of his charisma. And so would everybody else. He had the fire of God around him. Wow, so inspiring. Well, I don't know if it was the fire of God, but it was something. That's why I fled KC to SW, Montana. I bet it's beautiful up there, though, isn't it? I hear a lot of good things about Montana. Maybe get you to take some pictures of some vistas and send them to me, some mountain ranges or something. Yes, that he pointed when performing Hound Dog. He definitely had something going on, though, for sure. I wouldn't posit to know what it was because I've never found it, but I've found small things like it. There's always a trade-off. That's right. He was a genuine soul, says April. Most women felt that way about him, even though he was pounding them left and right. That guy probably had more ass than a toilet seat. When he couldn't move or shake his ass on TV. He did pretty good. That last concert that he was in, he looked a little rough, though. I've saw footage of it, and he looked like he was dead already, all bloated and swole up, couldn't hardly open his eyes, slurring his words. Elvis would be tough to really imitate, probably tough to play Michael Jackson as well. Well, no, there's a lot of guys that can move like Michael Jackson. I've seen many guys that can dance like him. I've never seen anybody be as fluid as Elvis and moving quite that way and sell it quite like Elvis did. Most of the time it looks like they're copying Elvis. You know what I mean? They're doing the right moves, but it don't come across the same way. Elvis just had a particular stance, a particular charisma about his being, you know. He did a lot with his hands. One thing, he had really big hands, so that really showed up when he articulated them in front of people, you know, cameras and stuff. And he really sold his persona, hook, line, and sinker, wearing those ridiculous jumpsuits. You know, he had to feel like a fool the first few times he wore those things because nobody dressed like that. He looked like a Martian for real, or some kind of religious figure. But he sold it. He wore it like he meant it, and it became his thing. And nobody to this day could pull something like that off and get away with it. Anybody else that dressed like that would be ridiculed almost immediately, and definitely snickered at behind their back if anybody ever took them seriously. But Elvis seemed to have a way of making that work. Big, tall collars, you know, capes. He's basically a superhero. But he pulled it off. Kind of miss being alive during that time. I was at the very end of his life. He died in 76, and I was 2 years old when he died, 2.5, something like that. I remember hearing it on the radio and listening to my mama cry and wondering what was going on, but I never got to experience that in my life. I've looked back on it as I've gotten older. I didn't used to be an Elvis fan until I was grown, and then I saw the value of what he was doing. And then I became a big Elvis fan. And then I realized that anybody that's ever been on stage post Elvis was trying to be Elvis. You know, that's the reason they're there, or one of them. So it's amazing. And it's amazing that it's lasted this long. There's still people trying to be Elvis, you know, trying to capture that excitement. And you may never see that again. And you know, the funny thing about Elvis is you could go to anywhere in the world. You could go to the Congo and to the most remote village in the world and draw an outline of Elvis in the dirt. And somebody would say, hey, that's Elvis. They know who he is. That man never left this country on tour. He did go overseas when he was in the army, but as far as touring, he never left the United States. Isn't that amazing? Yet he is known the world over. And until recently was the highest selling artist of all time. Garth Brooks surpassed him, and then somebody surpassed Garth Brooks. And I think it was the Michael Jackson collection. But that's a little unfair because now there's a whole industry behind selling Michael Jackson stuff. It's not just an artist out there working. And they also own the Beatles. So you got Michael Jackson and the Beatles on the same ticket, owned by the same organization. So they're making money, big money. And for whatever reason, they've managed to keep Elvis's catalog pretty much in the family. I think they may have sold some stuff now, but for a long time, they owned it all and kept it and ran it, you know. And so they did pretty good. I know that Elvis's grandkids ain't never going to need nothing. They'll always have money. And some of them are even getting famous in their own right now. There's one of them that's an actor. And I don't know her name. It's a girl. But she doesn't go by Presley, I don't think. But she's been in a couple of horror movies and things like that. And I think one of them turned into a lawyer or something. So it's pretty interesting to see where his kids ended up. That's a hard act to follow. They're coming out with a movie documentary soon. Michael Jackson, his hat is Bob Marley. Huh? That was his trademark. TBC, take care of business. Yup. He wore it well. And yes, I'm an Elvis fan, almost to the point of being obsessed. Well, he should be. He's worthy of being fanned. Did you watch the Identical? No, not yet. I do have it, though. I just hadn't got to it. He's well remembered more today than when he was alive. That's true. That's called really making your mark in the world for good. Yes, it is. I liked Michael's 80s stuff, Thriller, Michael Jackson's 80s stuff, Thriller, Beat It. I didn't care for the other stuff. He's got a wide range of interesting music. Kind of spans the genres a little bit. Goes from funk to pop to dance music and back, so forth. You know, her boy died. His name was also Elvis. Whose boy? Lisa Marie? I did not know that. I guess that's why I never hear original Elvis in movies, etc. Just covers. Well, Elvis is another one who never wrote any of his own material. He may have one or two songs, but for the most part, they were brought to him from all over, and he got his pick of the litter pretty much. He could do whatever song he wanted before any other artist could get to it, and it's because he was selling like mad. And the only song that was released post his death was that song, A Little Less Conversation. It's kind of a Vegas tune, you know. Littlest conversation, da 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 da, da 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 da, you know, that kind of thing. And it was a shock when I heard that song, and they released it on a TV show first called CSI Vegas, I believe it was, or something like that. And I thought, well, where did that song come from? Did they have an Elvis impersonator doing it? No, it was actually Elvis. He recorded that song. They just never released it. It was in a vault. And there's probably 10 albums worth of other material in vault somewhere that's never been released. It's all Elvis. The first Elvis movie with Kurt Russell, that's actually Elvis. Kurt was not singing the music. That's correct. This new movie though, that's coming out, that guy sings about half the time. All the early stuff he'll sing himself, and then the Elvis that's famous, then they'll switch over to a soundtrack because it's more authentic that way. But from what I understand, he's going to do a lot of his own singing. And the guy sounds like Elvis. He really does. Matter of fact, I remember seeing him on the news one time. They found him in Canada. And they had him singing an Elvis song on the news. And he was about 15 years old at that time. And he sounds just like Elvis. It's amazing. And what's amazing is that the universe would produce that voice more than once. And if they could give that guy some of that charisma, he could go out there and make millions. But it's hard to be handsome as Elvis was. That's all Elvis did was record music. He lived in pretty much all the time, all hours of the night. Yeah. He did that for a while, yes. I wish they would release some of the stuff that was never released. I'd like to hear it. You know that song Trouble? I've heard a version of Elvis singing that song. That's how old the song is. He actually cut that song as a demo years before Travis Tritt got it, and they just never released it as an album. So there's probably hundreds of those songs that you know and love, songs that are on the radio today that he recorded back in the 70s and just never released. It wasn't what he was looking for, that Elvis thing, you know. But he tried all kinds of stuff. But I'd like to hear an album of that kind of stuff, you know, stuff that didn't fit his particular image, stuff that he recorded just as a test. I'd like to see that. That'd be interesting. You can hear it in Elvis radio, really. Growing up, I thought Elvis was primarily a movie star because of those excellent movies that hypnotized me as a kid. My favorite was Jailhouse Rock. He was under contract to do like 3 movies a year, and he did it for a long time. And the Colonel wouldn't let him go back on tour. He wanted to go on tour, but the natural progression, as far as Colonel thought, was become a star, then become a movie star, and then rule the world, you know. So for about 10 years, the Colonel wouldn't let him go back on tour. It was movie after movie after, and they were all terrible movies, you know, cheaper, little clam bake movies. And Elvis wanted to be a real movie star. Like he wanted to be in a real dramatic movie, but if it didn't have singing in it, the Colonel wouldn't let him do it. It was kind of sucky for Elvis, actually. I don't know why he was so loyal to that man, but he did every single thing that guy ever asked him to do, and he did it without question. And that guy was taking like 50% of his money. He did more gospel in the end. Yeah, he did. Colonel kept him on a tight leash. He sure did. I like them all, what I've seen. Well, you would. You're a girl, and you're the demographic. Hey, there's my sister. Hey, Melissa Lapagola. What brings you to the channel so late at night? You can't sleep? Missing you, bro? Burning the midnight oil. Are you still working? Jesus Christ, lady. Go home and go to bed. Had a big impact in those days, the late 60s, and in all the world. Can't be replicated today, of course. That's true. Always missing my brother. Yes. April says, hey, beautiful. And Missy says, I can't go home and go to bed. Aren't you the boss? Who's going to fire you if you do? Golly, girl, working hard. Yeah. What time is it? Like 10 o'clock? Yep. I feel for you, sis. Make some coffee is all I can tell you. But I'm glad you're here anyway. April says, I understand. I know what you mean. Well, it's Mother's Day. It's one of the busiest times of year for her. She's hammering it too. We're just sitting around chit-chatting about Elvis and other music. Who's going to do those orders? Who's going to fill your shoes? Who's going to stand that tall? Who's going to make the flowers like the Wabash Cannonball? Who's going to fill your heart and soul with all the things you do? Tell me, who's going to fill their shoes? You get it, girl. You make that money. Make the whole world proud of you. And then say, you're not getting none. I love you too, miss. Send me some gardenias, missy, says April. Tying bows so I won't be able to type. I hear you. Who's the moderator of this chat? I think Sasquatch got a free pass on that salon comment. What? No chainsaw, professional grooming, or other jokes? He's not here right now. I think he's here somewhere in the back. He might have dipped out. Yeah, I rib him every now and then, but it just didn't hit me. And he's one of the moderators, by the way. It's probably why he didn't get pounded. And the other moderator is April Rain. But I don't usually have that big of a problem. Every now and then we get some trolls in, but for the most part, people act like people, which is all I could ask for. Did y'all hear his newest shorts about the redhead? No, I have not. That was true and real now. I'll have to check it out. I hadn't heard it. I hadn't been online today. I did finally get my motorcycle parts in today, so if I can get it done before I have to go to work tomorrow, I'll have my bike back on the road. That's a good thing. Tired of being stranded. How about screwing in a light bulb? There was a troll incident in his show last night, and Cheese Bear took care of business. I know she does. She's a good moderator. Awesome. Cheese Bear will get him, says April. Yes, she will. She'll go on that ass quick. I'm jealous. But I got a pretty good moderator too, so I'm not worried about it. I really like Cheese Bear. Well, she likes you too, I imagine. It's me she ain't crazy about. That's all right. I'm an acquired taste. I know that. She did it with style too. Warning first, etc. Well, that's the way you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to just kick people out, or else you wouldn't have much of an audience. But some of them will not behave themselves even when you warn them, and those people got to go. I'll usually tell people stop it a few times before I'll ask one of my moderators to kick somebody out, but I try not to do that. I try to let people have their say, because I can take some criticism. It's just when they start getting rude that I don't like it. Don't matter if they say anything bad about me, but I don't like them talking trash in front of the ladies. You know what I mean? She's always right on with everything, everyone. She says, I'm her older sister. Aw. That's an honor, April. I think so. It's nice to be liked. Well, I've had a good time tonight. Have you guys had fun? Won't you do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you get notifications when I'm going to be online and when the new videos drop. Smash that like button. Smash it hard. Smash it with ferocity, but only do it once. It really does help the channel. It's free. It's right in front of you. It takes no effort at all, and it makes the algorithm think we're doing something. So please do that. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. Drink your own Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking critically, that's what I'm into. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And hey, if you dig what I'm doing and you can see the value of what I'm trying to create here and you'd like to be part of that and help out a little bit, or if you'd like to just pat me on the back and say, hey, nice job, Jake, or if you feel led to do some help in other ways, won't you consider becoming a supporter of this channel by going to paypal.me/Jake Johnson Band? Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too, because God notices these things. And above all, feed Jake. I don't have the music cue, so I can't do it. But I need little kibbles and bits in my bowl too. I work hard for my money. Feed Jake. He's been a good dog. My best friend right through it all. If I die before I wake, feed Jake. And above all, treat your mothers like they're the most important thing in your life, because they are, and it's Mother's Day this weekend. So make sure you call them up and say, hey, Mom, I love you. I'd give anything in a day if I could do it. So make sure you do. Love those mamas. Great dropping in with some cool folks. Have a good evening, all. Salute. Jake next time. Thank you, sir. And I'll see you next time on Sunday at 8 o'clock. That's where we're going to start off. We'll do some soul searching and some divining and some spiritual guiding and see where we come out on top on the next time. Won't you do me a favor, fellas? When you go out into the world tomorrow, take a little kindness with you. Just be nice to somebody. That's all. It don't take much at all. Just be nice. Smile. Hold a door. Say hello. Talk to somebody. Listen to somebody. And watch it change your life from the inside out. I promise you it will. It'll make you better all the way around. That's the best advice I have for you. I love you all with all my heart. I love you true. Thanks for hanging in there. I've had a great time tonight. I've had a great conversation with some good friends. Can't ask for a better evening. What's that? Love you all. Thanks for coming. MVTV. Love you, buddy. I love you, Jake, Aunt Laura, and Missy. I love you too. And they love you too. Have a great night. Take care of yourselves and each other. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, name it after me so I get a little credit posthumously. Have a great night, and thanks for watching.